when the specialist of the strange meets the age of darkness. Eyes in the skies will stare upon the glimmers of their scalps. And ponder the insanity that comes with their adventure. Welcome to the Bald and Bonkers.
I love that. I love that intro, man. That's great. Like I've seen it quite a few times, and it's just funny. And the last part with you two in your face there, that's just great.
I know.
Oh yeah, I know. It's taken off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bald and Bonkers. My name is Dakota. We got Chris So Chatty here, my co-host that no one knows.
I know. I'm training them, guys. I'm training them to speak more.
And we have our special guest, Bryan J. Laverty from Huntaphobia, Parapost.net. My God, man, you have been busy.
Yes. You have?
A little bit. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride up to this point. Some good, some really good, and a little bit of bad every once in a while. But I'm surviving.
I would just love to know, how do you get the time?
Well, you know what? You prioritize, or at least you try to. I try to write everything down in my head, what I'm going to do per day, and do it that way. But every so often, something. I get an email that changes that, and like for example, like right after this show, I have to do 2 self-tapes for a feature film and a commercial. And yeah, so it never stops, but I like keeping busy because it keeps me out of trouble.
That's
plain and simple. Because trouble seems to find me every so often, so it's okay.
Looking at the chat tonight, we've actually got quite a few people in. Who we got? There's Drew's Paranormal Vlog. We've got Paranormal World Investigators. Who we all got there actually, Dakota? We've got quite a few in actually tonight.
And this is why I got the beard too. Just whatever you call a beard, because my beard goes about this long and then it stops. But the one of the self tapes that I'm doing, it's for a PI, and he has to look very rugged and crunchy. So I figured, that's why.
I was saying, like, I actually thought to myself, you're looking very robust
Harry?
tonight. He's looking. No. It goes for you. It makes you actually look. It looks. It's weird. It's just like you can watch your night.
Well, I got the Dakota look most of the time, right? My shaved head and my shaved face. So, and the Chris too. Yeah. I figured I'd change it up a little tonight. I'm always wearing a hat.
That's fine.
I figured I'd keep it.
Fine. That's great. It looks good. It really does look good.
Yeah.
So Dakota.
This is all.
I see. I'm trying to stay quiet. This is what happens. You see. So Bryan, I tell you what.
It's okay.
So Bryan, can you tell us a wee bit about yourself? Because this is the first time you've been on Bald and Bonkers.
Yeah. Well, first of all, my question to you guys is, where did the name come from?
Oh my God. Well, I'll give you a clue.
Well, I understand the bald, but what about the bonkers? Where did that come from?
It was for him. Actually, that's a good question. Where did the bonkers come from, Dakota?
I was looking for the alliteration to make it sound good when I made that joke, and it just stuck.
It works. But the only thing is, though, if somebody were new to come to your channel and see Bald and Bonkers, they would go, Well, they wouldn't think it's a paranormal, a UFO, or anything like that. That's for sure.
Aye, but it's
But you know what? It's classic.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Aye, but
So,
it's like you think about it, the UFO field, right, and then you've
yeah,
got the paranormal field.
yeah,
You think about it, some people totally don't believe in this stuff. So I think that's why Bald and Bonkers, it just came a
yeah.
kind of name, you know.
Yeah, the bald and beautiful. That's pretty good too. You know,
Oh, thank you, Claire.
you guys are beautiful. You're beautiful
Oh
souls
God
and
Almighty, I don't
beautiful
know. I'm going to
gentlemen,
blush now.
beautiful gentlemen,
Thank you, Claire.
and you know, and the shirts really top it off too. I love the shirts. Anyway, so how
Yeah.
so basically how I got into the paranormal, I guess I was I soon discovered when I was a young child that I had things that other children couldn't do or abilities,
Yeah.
and so I kind of figured at that age something was different. Um, I guess I had my very first experience, paranormal experience,
Yeah.
when being touched was when I was about
Right.
15 years old, and long
And what
story
was?
short. Long
Right.
story short, a friend of mine's grandmother passed away, and I went down
Oh.
to see him. And about 3 weeks after her death, and we were sitting in his bedroom. I was sitting in his bed. He was sitting across from me, and all of a sudden, I felt like, well, it was a hand that touched my wrist, and then it almost felt like a head leaned on my shoulder. And it lasted for about 30 seconds, and then it was gone. But the crazy thing, during that 30 seconds, I looked
Huh.
over to my right, and there was an actual indent in the bed, like
Wow.
somebody was sitting on the bed. And I said to my buddy, I said, listen, there's something touching me. And he goes, ah, whatever. He thought I was bullshitting, right? And I said, no, dude, look beside me. There's an indent in the bed, like somebody's sitting there. And which is pretty crazy in itself. But one thing that I thought that was really odd was,
Yeah.
you know, when you hear all these stories about somebody being touched by a spirit, or you know, whatever, and it's
Yeah.
cold feeling. Well, this was a very
Yeah.
warm feeling. It was very loving.
Really?
And what's what's weird about the whole thing is, when his grandmother was alive, she used to do that. So we figured it was his
That's
grandmother,
fascinating. That is
and
fascinating.
yeah, we figured it was his grandmother, and it lasted for about 30 seconds and then disappeared. So after that experience, I really, really wanted to find out the
Yeah.
abilities that I had. So I really started deep diving into that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as I tell a lot of people, I had the type of family that weren't believers.
Yeah.
They thought
I
it was all
understand. Yeah.
crap. They
Yeah.
thought it was crap, and mediums and psychics and all those people were people that needed to be stored away in a loony bin. You know,
Yeah.
that type of
Yeah. I
thing.
know that. I know the type. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
so
it.
Yeah.
I
I
understand.
kept it quiet for a very, very long time. And then when I got into investigations about 9 years ago, and people that I was investigating with didn't even know the abilities that I had. Um, and what's funny about all of that is my abilities come and go.
Right.
They're not constant. Like it's
Right.
like I could be walking down the street one day and see nothing, and then walking down the street the next day and see all kinds of things.
That is
So,
strange. That is quite
so
strange.
yeah, well, I think I've been told by other mediums that the reason that is because of the negativity that I grew up with,
Okay.
and it's in the back of my head, and I just can't
Yeah.
release that. I don't think people realize, and there's probably a lot of people that do that. When you're fed something in your head for
Yeah.
your first 15, 16 years of your
Yeah.
life, being or living with your parents, that sticks.
Yeah.
And the negativity was there all the time. It still is. Every time I see something, the first thing I think of is my parents saying it's all crap.
That's
So
it. Just shows you that. But that just shows you. You imagine what it must be like for these really gifted mediums out there
mm,
that
mm,
have grew up with that past.
yeah, yeah.
That,
And it's funny. Yeah, it's funny because I was asked that question the other day, and what advice would you give somebody that is going through what you're going through? And I go,
yeah.
you know what? When I was around, when I was 15, 9 years old, 12, 11, whatever it was, there was no
Mhm.
internet.
Yeah.
There was none of that. There was a library and books,
Yes.
and that's what was around. But now today, there's so many
Oh.
avenues you can go down. that you can reach out to somebody
Yeah.
and speak to somebody about it, and because you'll have lots of support, because there's a lot of people out there that understand what you're going through.
Yeah. Can I ask you, Brian, what would you say was the most real experience you had? I know you talked about the one that sat next to you, but seeing them,
Yeah.
seeing them, the spirits. What was that for you?
When I was a young kid,
Yeah.
yeah, it got to a point where I was seeing it so often, I started not paying attention to it anymore.
Right.
And I tell some people this too. I had my first demonic experience when I was about 18, and
Yeah.
and I don't, and I tell this also to people that, demonic is not something to mess around with, first of all.
No.
But they're not seen every single week with like some YouTubers. So
Yeah.
so,
Or every single upload, you know.
yeah,
Right.
I've seen about 5 in my lifetime,
Yeah.
and
I hope
I've
I
been
never
around
see
for a
one.
while. I've been around for a while, so that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. Now you can walk into a place and, I think that's where the big problem happens with a lot of
Yeah.
people. If they have something thrown at them, they automatically think it's something demonic. But you could
It's
just
no-
walk into a place and that spirit could just be really, really pissed off.
Pissed. Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's demonic.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like somebody walking. It's like somebody walking into my house right now
Yeah.
and starting picking stuff up, and walking about. Wasn't
Yeah,
it? You would be
I guess
pissed.
I guess my first experience seeing one was I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I was out with some friends at a park, and there it was. There it was, just standing there, and I said something to my friend, and my friend said, "What are you talking about?" And there's nothing there, and that's when I knew. That's when I really knew something was going on.
Did the spirit know that you could see it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't looking in my direction. No,
Right.
no.
What happens when they know that you
Of course,
know?
I don't even. Of course, with saying that, I don't see facial. Well, when I was a child, I could. Now I can't. I don't know why that is, but
Yeah.
it was faced the other way. So I don't know if it knew I could see him or not. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
That it's fascinating. That is fascinating. How the younger you are, more likely to see things. So that was like me when I was young. I could see them.
yeah,
But now
yeah.
it's
Well, they
different.
say that,
It's-
right? They say that
Yeah.
kids can see them because their minds aren't clouded, right?
That's right.
And as they get older, you're fed all this kind of stuff. That this stuff is not real; it's fake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's as we both, all three of us know, that's not true.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no. We know a lot of it's true.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because I always wonder. You hear kids talking to what you think or what you're being told is an imaginary friend.
Yes.
Is it really an imaginary friend? You know what I mean?
That,
So
I've actually thought that. I've always wondered
Yeah.
about that because you get the kids. Oh, I need to get my kid treatment. I need to get my kid treatment. She thinks he or she's got a imaginary friend, but it could be someone
Yeah.
that was in the house before them.
yeah, yeah.
So, can you tell us a wee bit about your network that you've set up, your Parapost, and your come on, because everybody in here, I've got to ask about it.
It's funny. If I knew then what I know now,
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
have. I might not have done it. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? It's doing extremely well right now. And as we were talking before the show, last month we got 17,000 views.
Yeah.
This month it looks like we're going to hit just under 20. So it's definitely growing. When we first launched it, it wasn't so good. We were with a program with a company that didn't allow us to do anything in the back end of the site. So we were pretty restricted on what we could do. Mike, who was my partner at the time, he was emailing these people every day going, "Can I do this? No. Can I do this? No. Can I do that?" And it just got to a point where, okay, we got to move. So we ended up moving, and we moved to another platform, which was doing all right. And then we decided, you know what? I think we need to. It looks like it's getting some traction, so let's get a developer in. So I got a developer in and helped develop the site more. And basically, what the site is for people that don't know about it that are in the room, Parapost Network is basically a social media site for everything paranormal and under the umbrella. So if you're involved with paranormal, cryptics, UFOs, supernatural, anything under the umbrella, that's what our site is. And I say this quite a bit because I think it's important for people to know this, that in the 6 months that I've been around, there's been absolutely no drama.
Wow.
None.
That's actually really good. You know?
Yeah. So as we know on Facebook, Twitter, all those sites, I think actually Twitter's probably the worst out of all.
Twitter's one of the worst.
That there's all kinds of drama. There's something happening. Somebody's pissed off. Somebody's doing something. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just tired of that stuff. I'm tired of seeing it. I don't want to be involved in it. People try to get me involved in it. I don't want to be. And I just got to a certain point one day in January, last January, I said, why don't I do my own?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And it's been a lot of work. It really has. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for where we are up to this point right now, but there's a lot more work to come.
Guys in the chat, please, could you go and check out Parapost? You might even find Dakota and me on there because we're on there, you know.
Yeah. So if you have Android or iOS, you want to type in Parapost Network, and it pops right up because right now, even in Android, it's doing extremely well. It's at the top of the list, and it's doing well because there's been so many downloads. So, does Dakota talk, or he's just
I'm waiting my post.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking at.
No. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
That's the chat there. Spirits are active at the moment because of the shift in the fifth dimension. People are becoming more awake. Don't forget there is spiritual war going on. Very true. There is a lot of stuff going on right now.
You know, it's funny. Somebody brought that up the other day to me, and I want people to keep this in mind also. There are so many cell phones going on right now. There's so many things with wireless and internet and all that stuff. It's all floating in the air.
Yes.
So that could be causing a lot of more of I guess more action on your equipment.
Yeah.
If you're out investigating, and there's a lot of factors, just not because of the realm or whatever. There's so much going through the air right now that people, and especially with 5G now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So I think that really has a big part of it myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. You think what your house must be like with all the Wi-Fi routers? Everything's wireless.
Well, you think about it. You think about it. In my condo, I have Wi-Fi, but I also have the pods that you plug in to the outlet, so your internet's better.
Yeah.
So if I turn a K2 on in this place, it's gonna go off.
You think
no matter what.
You think that Amityville Horror was just a?
It's like I just recently put in these pods, and I haven't really checked the K2 to see what would happen, but it's just there's many different factors on why I think it's being more active today than it was, like, let's say 5 years ago.
You've got to remember too, a lot of cars have got Wi-Fi in them now too. A lot of the new cars have all got built-in Wi-Fi.
And I'm going to tell you something else too. Have you guys ever heard of helium? Not what you blow in the balloons, not those. It's helium. It's a product called helium. They're actually called miners. These little boxes. Okay, I have one of those in my condo, And basically,
Right.
what that does is it takes data from outside and puts it in this box, and it's transferred to a company that collects this data, and it also goes up to a satellite. So, can
Right.
you imagine the amount of frequencies that are going up to the satellite right now?
Wow.
So, there's so many different factors, but this miner that I have, it collects data, so that's going to set off anything in this place too.
Of course it is.
So,
Just about, yeah.
yeah, basically why I did it is to make some extra money because you're paid in what's called helium coin, like a
Right.
crypto coin, but it's a helium coin. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are all over the world right now, and they're mainly in the States and Canada. But if you take a look at their website, it is plugged up with these miners. So
Yes.
again, that is sending frequencies through the air.
It's everywhere. That's the thing. You can't walk down a local high street without free Wi-Fi here. We free Wi-Fi here. You imagine what's
Exactly.
going about.
Yeah, exactly. It was really an interesting point that was brought up the other day, and I've been thinking about it the last 3 or 4 days, and there could be a lot of truth to it
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So Dakota, what have you got to ask?
What?
I'm a little afraid, actually.
From
But, no, this kind of goes into it. Now, considering, like you said, when it comes to social media, it seems like everybody's trying to get at each other's throat, and there's a lot more people, whether it's because of the pandemic or because of things going on at the home, where they're becoming more aware of certain
Mm.
things happening.
Mm.
And obviously, with all these shows out on these networks, 95% of it is BS because they're claiming demons every other episode.
Mm.
What would you recommend to someone who's wanting to get their start in this field?
That's a good question. Okay. Basically, what I did and what I tell people what to do, I think in any investigation that I go into, I always have a plan. And I think if you want to do this, you have to have some kind of plan. I think you really have to know what you're after. Like, there's some people that go after the science. There's some people that just go after the hunt, and there's some people that just actually go after the answers or the questions. And that's what I am. I'm more of the answer question type of guy. My tagline is "What lies beyond death," and because I'm looking for those answers. And to be honest, on some places I have gotten those answers. That has been a burning question in history. And there's one particular place that I definitely got the answer from. But I think going in with the plan, my advice would also don't go out and spend thousands of dollars on equipment. Don't do it, because you could go out your first time and realize that you don't like it, and then you just spend hundreds of dollars on equipment. So go out with a camera. Everybody has a video camera on their phone. Go out with that. Go out with a voice recorder if you have one, or you could use your phone, and see if you like it. And if you like it and you think this is something you really want to do, then start going into looking at places, haunted places, looking at the history. Because honestly, yes, we're all paranormal investigators, but we're also history buffs too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we like to know the history on places. And that's what I do too. I like to look at the history of some places and figure out what's going on and why it could be possibly haunted. I'm not big on the haunted word until I get to a place to figure out if it is or not. And, that would be my advice to people. Plan. Just go out and see if you enjoy it. Maybe find a local group that maybe you can tag along with, and to see if you like it, because it's not for everybody. And you can go into some of the most creepiest places and go, you know what? I need to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. And if you're saying stuff like that to yourself, you're probably not going to want to do it. So,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Can I ask you, Brian? Have you ever been in one of those situations? Have you
Yes,
ever
of
went
course I
to
have.
a locate?
Of
Have you
course
ever
I
went to this locate? What would you say was one of the worst locations you've ever been in?
Oh,
for you
there's
to
for
experience?
me personally, there's two locations here in the Ontario, Toronto area that I've been to, and I've been alone to one of them, and I will never ever do that again.
Nah.
They always tell you never go on an investigation by yourself, but
Nah.
I wanted to try it at least once to see what it was like, and never again. Not at least not to this place. This place is called Sewell's Bridge. I don't know what's going on at this bridge. I've done all the history I can on this bridge or searched for history, and I cannot find out why this place is haunted. And it's not on top of the bridge, it's underneath the bridge.
Right.
So as soon as you go to this bridge, as soon as you go underneath, immediately your stomach starts turning. Immediately. And
what's underneath the bridge? Is it like water, or is it just railway tracks or something?
well, there is water there because it's underneath.
Right.
The water's right there, and it's a very large stream. Um, they call it Rouge River, but I don't think it's really a river. It's more like a stream. But anyways, yeah. So there's a lot of water there, but I don't know what's going on with this place, but it is creepy as hell. And as soon as you get down there, like I said, your stomach starts turning. You start feeling stuff. I've seen stuff there. I've captured stuff there. And a medium actually watched one of my videos of Sewell's Bridge, and she thinks she knows what's going on.
Right.
She thinks there's actually a portal underneath the bridge, and there's actually kind of a nasty spirit that's not allowing them to go into this portal and stopping them. So that's why it's overridden with spirits at this place. Like there's just tons and tons of spirits. My son goes there. The first time we were there, my son was touched, and he jumped about 3 miles in the air. And on the drive home, this look in his face was like complete. He was completely stunned, and it scared the crap out of him so bad he actually had a couple of tears coming down his face. That's how bad it was. And it's what's really weird is there's nothing around. There's no wires well, there's wires, but it's like 200 feet in the air or something like that. But there's nothing around. But the K2 meter goes ballistic underneath this bridge. Absolutely goes ballistic. And it goes even more ballistic when my son is there, because I like taking my son there because everything goes off really nicely when he's there. They love him for some reason. I don't know why. They love him. Yeah. He was actually holding the K2 once, and he goes, I think my question was, do you like Mason? And went right to red.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Maybe something's happened there before the bridge was there. I mean,
you know what? I found out that there was a bus crash that killed a bunch of kids, but it was almost like almost 2 kilometers away. So I don't think that would really have anything to do with it. But other than that, there's nothing except there's a graveyard a little ways up the road, but it's still too far. And
but it makes you wonder what's happened in maybe 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
Yeah, you never know. It could be a burial ground of some type. Who knows? But that place has really scared me. And there's one other place that absolutely scared the crap out of me. And I wasn't even thinking about staying. That's how bad it was. And there were 5 other people with me. And it was at an abandoned sawmill. It's actually on my YouTube channel. I had the medium with me, Patty.
Right.
And she said 2 people were killed in here that the reason they were killed was because of a fight of money. And the business ended up eventually falling apart. It's an abandoned sawmill. And I don't know what's going on with that place, but that place scared the crap out of me. It really did. I didn't leave, though. I stayed for 3 hours.
Well, you're a brave man.
But Patty and the other photographer wanted to leave. The photographer wanted to leave. She was scared. She was actually, you can actually, we didn't use a lot of her footage because she was shaking so badly.
That's
how scared she was. Yeah. So
the bridge fascinates me. The bridge fascinates me because
if you ever come to Canada, I'll take you to this bridge.
Yeah. Yeah,
Julie
I'll
knows.
take
that'd be,
bridge.
that'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
It's,
it's cool.
it fascinates me because it makes you wonder what happened there maybe 200-300 years ago. Like,
I have no idea. I have no idea. And my medium tends to believe that because for some reason, every time I go there or I'm somewhere else on an investigation, I'm thinking about that
Yeah.
bridge. And she thinks that in a past life, I had something to do with that bridge or I lived near that bridge.
yeah,
Yeah. So
That's-
it's cool. I haven't been there for a while, but it's really cool. It's really you guys would. As soon as you guys go under this bridge, I'm telling you right now,
I'll
the
send
voices
Dakota first.
Oh my god, the voices you hear, are just crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy, crazy. I don't know why it's not more popular, to be honest.
I'm going to have to look this place up.
Well,
Gonna have to look
it's on Parapost in
Right.
haunted spots.
Oh, I definitely have to
Haunted
check
Oh,
that out. For
I'll
sure.
Yeah.
check that
Yeah.
out tonight then. Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
check
we
that
have
out
on
tonight.
for people that don't know the site. We actually have a section in the site. You click on it, you go to the top, it says haunted spots. You click on it, and you have all these haunted spots. And if you want to, if you
Yeah.
sign up, you can actually put in your own haunted spots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to be checking that out tonight.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So, Brian, could you tell us a wee bit about Paraflex?
Paraflex.
Oh, I had to ask
Oh,
you.
well, Dakota knows about Paraflex. I'm
Well,
sure he's talking about
I know, but there's people on here.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. I'm just busting your chops. Paraflex is Paraflex. It's a Canadian thing, I think, right? Busting your chops.
I've heard it's over here too.
But Paraflex has been phenomenal up to this point.
Yeah.
When I first found out about Paraflex, I did a little bit of research and I wanted to find out about Paraflex a little bit more because I knew another team that was joining, and so I reached out to Natalie Jones. And I messaged her and I said, "Could you tell me a little more about this Paraflex?" And she did. She wrote me back. And you know, one thing I love about Natalie, I'll be honest, one thing I love about her is she, even though she's really, really super, super busy, she messages you back pretty well right away.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a time where it's been over an hour that I've waited. It's been under an hour the whole time. But Paraflex has been great. So when I spoke to her and she told me we had a meeting and she said, I looked at your videos and I really, really want you to come to Paraflex. I think you would be a great addition to the Paraflex team. And I said, I'm going to have to think about it because I was starting to get a little more progression on YouTube. But then I really sat back and thought about it and said, you know what, this is going to be a platform exactly like Netflix, but for the paranormal.
Yes.
And it's going to be big. It might take a few years, like Netflix did. It took Netflix almost 7 years to become really,
That's
really
right.
big.
Oh, yeah.
And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I signed the contract. I did what I had to do. I got Zach on board as my editor. For people that don't know, if you've seen some of the YouTube videos, Dakota has done a couple of my YouTube videos. Obviously, Dakota has something going on in his place.
It does because I can hear voice. I heard
I
someone
just
say
heard someone
something.
screaming. I was like, what?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
So Dakota's done a couple of my videos, and I just felt like this was a better market for me, and it's done extremely well. And I brought Zach on board, and he films, he edits. He's got a couple of other camera people as well. He's just brought on somebody that's doing the music, who's actually creating the music themselves. So it's been really, really good. As far as I know, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but Huntaphobia is definitely in the top 5.
Nice.
So,
That's
good.
good.
And that's good. I really like it, but at the end of the day, I want people to see what I capture, and that's why I do it, and that's why I love it.
Brilliant. So, guys, please in the chat check out Paraflex.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I should have signed in because I can't see anything. I can't see any comments. I can't see anything.
Did you know? Does it not show you up the
Oh,
top
there it
corner?
is. Oh, there it is.
There you
There it
go.
is.
There you go. There
Hey,
you go.
for me,
Yeah.
I knew that. I thought it was on comments, but usually it's better if you log in and then you can see how many people are in the room and stuff like that. But yeah, you seem to have a lot of people in the room. Wow.
Yeah, there is actually quite a few people in there. Look from Facebook. So Dakota, would you like to? I know I keep talking because I'm for Europe.
I know.
So what is the dynamic here? Is Dakota more your sidekick?
He's like my sidekick. I'm like Batman. He's Robin. You know.
I hate to, it's like Lex.
Pants, man.
It's like Lex, right? It's like Lex on Through the Lens. That
Yeah.
he likes to call himself as my sidekick. I don't like it. I think we're both the same. I think Dakota and Chris are both the same, right? But
we're mad. That's why we're called Bald and Bonkers, because we're mad.
It just works so well. Anyway,
that's awesome.
all right. For Huntaphobia, what would be one location you would absolutely die to get in for an episode?
Ooh, that's a great question. Great question, Dakota. Well, I'll tell you my bucket list, my number one spot that I want to go to on my bucket list. I'll tell you my top two. How about that?
Ooh,
My first one is Suicide Forest,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
and my second one is Tranquil Sanatorium, which is in Vancouver.
I've heard about that.
It's in Canada,
Yeah.
and
I've heard about that.
I'm hoping and I'm thinking I might get out there soon, so I can scratch that off my bucket list. And my third one, I'm going to give you a third one. My third one is Egypt.
Yeah, pyramids.
yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody knows this in the room or if you guys know this, but there is a town right outside. Well, it's not a town; it's a city right outside of Cairo that's called the Dead City.
Yeah, I've heard
Yes.
about that.
Oh, I want to be there so badly. These
Yeah.
people, all these people, there's 1 million people that live in this city, and they all live in tombs.
Yes.
It's just a place that I would love to go to.
Was that no where Indiana Jones was actually filmed there? Was with the big the stone carved out?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I know.
I think that's-
yeah, I'm not sure about that.
So, where is your YouTube channel going? Where's the next location?
Yeah.
Obviously,
I just put up a video last night
Mhm.
of Blue Ghost Tunnel, which is
Yep.
in the top 10 list for most haunted spots in Canada. And how this came about doing this video, a friend of mine by the name of John, he's a real estate agent. He owns a company out here in outside of Toronto. It's called Surrealty. He messaged me one day, just out of the blue. I'd never met him before. He messaged me. He goes, I was hoping we can get on a phone call. And I didn't even know who this person was. So he saw one of my my reels on Facebook of a clip I did on an investigation that did extremely well on TikTok and did quite well on Facebook too. And he brought up this idea of doing a contest and for having some people come out on a paranormal investigation.
that's a
And
good idea.
5 people came out, 5 people won. And we brought them out back in October. And they had a paranormal experience. And I'm telling you, they had a paranormal experience because the amount of EVPs that I captured in this video has been the most EVPs that I've ever captured it in a video.
That's amazing.
I did a one voice recording. I caught 13 EVPs in a 3-minute
Wow.
voice recording. And I think I caught in total 36 EVPs.
That's just
The place is, and this is another place that I'll take you guys to if you guys ever come out here.
Yeah.
Blue Ghost Tunnel's absolutely amazing, and the history's sad, but it's an amazing place. It was basically a tunnel that was built for trains, and 107 people died in the construction of the tunnel, and 2 people died, or was it? I think it was 104 people died in the construction.
Right.
2 people died when it was first opened. Train crash happened. 2 people died
Right.
near the tunnel, and this is the most scary part of this. In order for them to build this tunnel, they had to move a canal. When they moved the canal, it flooded a graveyard.
Ooh,
So there were
right.
900 burials that were flooded and still underwater today.
That's
And if you go there, if the sun is shining right, you can actually see the burials and the gravestones.
ooh,
Yeah,
That's-
it's creepy. It's creepy.
that
It's really
is-
creepy.
I need to check this place out. You've got all these places I need to check out. Is that one? Is
on
that one on
Parapost, too.
Parapost? Is
It's
it
on
on
Parapost.
It's on
We got some
Parapost.
fucking balls, man.
That's that. We're sending Dakota out in a wee dinghy, you know?
Yeah.
Like the EMF meter.
So that video went out last night, and it's doing well. It's getting some views, but I got another video coming out maybe next week.
Ooh, what's that?
And I don't know if you guys have seen any of my videos on YouTube, but I've been to a church a number of times. I took John, my friend, the one from Surrealty, to the church with a friend of his, and we did an investigation, and it was great. I've seen half of the video, and it's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to editing that. Now, I will let people know. Everybody needs to know this. I'm no editor. I'm not an editor. So I do my best. And the video last night, I think, is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm learning. And in actual fact, I did grab a few things from Dakota when he did a couple of my videos. So I took a couple of things from his when he did mine. So, but other than that, I'm learning. I'm doing all kinds of different things, and so. And some people don't know this, but right after the show, I have to do 2 self-tapes for a feature film and a commercial. So
Wow.
it's just crazy. It's just
I
crazy.
know how that is.
It's the joys of fame, man. Just think what you've got to be like with a superstar.
Fame. Who's famous here?
Right?
Don't be
It's
famous
going to
here.
happen. I can see the future. It's going to happen.
I'm not going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, or I'm not going to be the next. I can't remember the guy from Twitter who owns Twitter. I'm not going to be any.
Oh,
of those.
who does own Twitter? I don't actually own. I ken Zuckerberg owns.
Who's the big twit face?
What's that?
Who's the big twit face? I keep forgetting.
He does kind of look like Bigfoot, actually.
I hope he's not watching that.
Well, we are on Twitter, so maybe.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a
I'll be
bad
fine,
thing.
you
There's
know.
nothing wrong with being some famous Sasquatch.
That nobody ever seems to be able to catch.
He's got
but-
really funky hair and he's got a really big beard.
Aye, I know. So
Are we
Dakota-
on Twitter? Are we on
What?
Twitter?
We're on
yeah,
Facebook.
we're on Facebook.
Well, I knew we were on
YouTube,
Facebook.
Twitch, as well as Twitter right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
everywhere.
I should be careful what I'm saying about Mark and whatever the guy's name who owns Twitter.
That's
I
it.
can't remember his name.
He's probably sitting there now thinking, God, I was going to invest millions in him, but see now, I'm not investing.
Okay, well, let me say sorry now. Sorry, guys. Sorry
So-
for losing that sponsor of Twitter. Yeah, so
Oh God.
but the video is really good, and the people that went on the experience had a great time. I do interview them at the end, so I put that at the end of the video
Yeah.
of them speaking and their thoughts, and if something they would do it again. There was one woman that was with our group that was so there's one moment, and I put it in the video actually because
Yeah.
it's quite funny. There's one moment during when I was doing an SB7, and I don't know what's going on with this tunnel, and it happens in this tunnel all the time because it's happened on previous videos. For some reason, my SB7, the static noise stops, but you can still hear the voices coming through. I don't know
That's
why it
unusual.
does it.
Really?
It did it again last night. I don't know why. And
That's
we
unusual.
were actually getting words. And at one point, it said, I asked a question, it said, go. And then all of a sudden, my buddy Chris, who was filming, turns to her and she goes, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's kind of disconcerting when the
Super-
cameraman's going, let's go.
Oh, I felt bad. I felt bad, but it was funny at the same time. But Yeah, so I asked a question after the during the interview part after the show after we were investigating, and she goes, "Yeah, she was a little bit scared at the beginning, but at the end of the day, it was a fun experience for everyone." And they all said it that they were surprised, and because you can actually hear the EVPs with your own ears.
I'm
It's
going to
not
be
like
listening
something
after the
that
show.
they
Yeah.
can only hear on the mic or the voice recorder or the SB7. You could actually hear it with your own ears. And there's one point when we first walked into the tunnel, it said "get out" in the first 30 seconds, which I captured. It said "get
Yeah.
out" again, and then it said something else, and then it said "get out" again. But this time, everybody heard the "get out," which was phenomenal, which was great, and which everybody was a little surprised when they heard that. So,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it was about the experience,
Yes.
and they had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun doing it too.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it twice a year now.
You'll need to give the cameraman some courage. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, there's funny
Let's
as
courage.
yeah, that one point there. One point we were walking through because I don't know why this is, but it was again it was for the trains, but you got the beams up top, and it's so close. Like the ground is so close to the beams now that
Yeah.
you have to duck. So at one point, Chris who was the camera guy, at one point, and he's a tall guy. He's like 6'5", 6'6", and at one point he almost just smacked his head, and I put that in the video too. There's a little bit of humor in the
I'm
video,
going to look forward to this.
so it's really really good. But I say every time I bring somebody there, one person at least does it, smacks their head on that beam. But I tell you this much though, that place should be. I haven't been to Tranquil, so I don't know what it's like.
No.
But I'm telling you, Blow Ghost Tunnel should be the #1 spot in Canada. It really should be, because the amount of evidence that I've captured in this place has been incredible.
Well, if I ever come to Canada with Dakota, you can leave me in there to see what happens.
Well, I offered one of the contest winners and to stay in the tunnel because they seem to like him. Because at one point we had the SB7 going. I said, "Do you have a connection with Bart?" And it actually came out on the SB7 Bart. So it was really really cool. And then later on, I said, "Do you have a connection with Bart?" And it said, "Yeah," on the SB7.
That's
It was
actually
really cool. You guys got to check out the video. It was really good.
I'm going to after the show. I'm going to watch it. I'm actually going to watch it after the show. That's what I'm going to do. So Dakota, would you like to ask a question? We've only got 10 minutes or so left of the show. Time flies, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
No.
Obviously, when you get in this field, you're going to hear some crazy stories. What would you say your most out there story would be?
Or my story, or somebody else's story that told me.
Oh, either one
Yeah.
you experienced or one you happen to hear.
Yeah, I don't think I've really heard any crazy stories, but I think probably one of the craziest things that happened to me while doing investigations. I did an investigation last November, and it's on Paraflix, and we did 3 businesses, and I brought out a bunch of other investigators. Brandon and Ashley were there. That were with that are, well, I don't know if they still are, but anyways, Brandon and Ashley. They were there. There was somebody else there, and then Reckless Adventure was there. I don't know if you're familiar with Reckless Adventure.
I think the name.
Yeah, they were there. So I brought everybody together to do a collab on these 3 stores, and I was in one of the stores, and during the investigation, all of a sudden I started to cough. I started losing my breath, and it felt like there was a hand around my throat. And I started getting choked, and I couldn't breathe. And we had to stop filming for about 10 minutes because I couldn't breathe. It was actually in a salon, believe it or not, in a hair salon. And so we actually, I
Somewhere
ended
where
up.
you'll not see us too.
What's that?
I said somewhere where you'll not see us too.
One got choked out. It was like, why is a bald guy in a hair salon?
so we like I said, we ended up stopped filming, and I ran right to the basin and had to have a drink of water because I couldn't breathe. It was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me, but at the same time, it was one of the scariest because you're worried about getting your breath back, right? And you don't know what's going on, and so that's probably been one of my craziest moments for sure.
So, before we go, Brian, would you like to give everything you've got a plug?
So we need the whole 9 minutes, right?
Oh, yeah,
We can go over it if you
we
want.
can go for it. We can go for it. We can go for it.
I'm just kidding. Well, first and foremost, you can find me on Parapost Network. You can download that through iOS or Android. You can also download it on your laptop or your computer too. I don't say that enough. But Parapost Network. Huntaphobia, you can find me on YouTube. And Huntaphobia, it's easily spelt and easily found.
Yes.
And I'm on Facebook with my private. Obviously, I have a private group page which is called Huntaphobia, but my Facebook public group page is called Huntaphobia and Friends. And obviously, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm also on TikTok too.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Did I leave one out?
I don't think you did.
I'm on Twitch also.
Twitch. He's on Twitch.
It's so hard to keep up with all of them, man.
Aye, Dakota will put all the links to everything you've got to this live tonight.
Yeah,
'cause
and I
he's
will
a
tell
great
you,
guy.
yeah, I will tell you that my main spot is Parapost Network. So
Yes.
that is first and foremost. That's my baby, and I'm hoping that people will come over to the site and enjoy it. I will let people know that hopefully this time next year we will have live. So you will be able to go into Parapost and hit that live button and go live and do whatever you want to do. Hopefully
That will be good.
Hopefully
That'll
something, PG, but at the end of
that didn't sound like
that's why I have a delete button. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
But I'm hoping by this time next year we'll have live, and hopefully we have a lot of people on the site. And if you're going to look for paranormal investigations, maybe even some UFOs investigations or cryptic investigation, you'll have a choice of maybe 50 videos going on at once. And that's what the long-term goal is. And hopefully I know people talk about this, and I think some people believe it, and I don't think some people don't. I really do believe in the para-unity. I really do. I think sometimes things can be said that are misunderstood, and I really think we're all one big good family. And unfortunately, you have those bad apples in there. But at the end of the day, I created this site because I wanted everybody to come to a site where there was drama-free, and if you're an enthusiast of the paranormal, if you're in the paranormal, then come on over to the site and have some fun and watch some videos and see some pictures. And it's just at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And I think I've told you this before, Chris. One of the main reasons why I created Parapost was, again, I don't think as paranormal investigators we're taken seriously. And I think with a platform like this, this is really going to go a long way to do that, to prove that we're serious about this and we love this industry. And I know you both do. And you can see it in Dakota's videos, how much he loves the industry, whether it's, cryptics, whether it's paranormal, whatever. I love this industry. I love being involved in it, and I want everybody else to experience Parapost.
Yes. So guys, in the chat, please check out Parapost, Paraflex, and Brian's YouTube channel. Honestly, it's actually quite a good place, Parapost, because I'm going to be getting there later. I'm going to add a few places to the haunted location area.
And I want people to keep in mind also, it's a new site. We're going to have glitches. We're going to have some bugs every once in a while. But just be patient. We're going to get there. It's going to be a brand new platform coming out next year. And I just want people to be patient, but we're doing our best, and hopefully everybody enjoys it.
And I would like to thank you for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
Brian.
yeah.
I really appreciate it. When Chris messaged me, I think, what was it, a month ago?
Yeah, it's about a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago, and he said, "Yeah, for sure, I'd love to go on your show. You want me to come on next week, this week or next week?" He goes, "Well, no, unfortunately, that's not going to happen because we got so many people that want to come on our show
Yeah.
that it's going to be a little while." And I go, "Not a problem. Just call me if you need me. I'm there."
Well, actually, we've actually got a special guest coming on. We're going to be pre-recording on Monday night. I'm going to get Dakota to tell everybody about it right now.
Yes, we do have, for those of you who do follow the UFO community, we do have Christina Gomez, who's going to be joining us to offer her insights on, quite frankly, what seems like to be increasing UFO activity that cannot be ignored. So that's definitely going to be an interesting interview. We also are in talks with several other individuals, big names to fill. I want to give away too much. In cryptids, we do have Professor Jeff Meldrum from Idaho State University, who actually studies Sasquatch professionally.
Cool.
He's been on a lot of
That'll be
shows. He's actually offered up his help for investigations if we ever go out to Bigfoot, if the spots I know they usually hang around here don't keep catching on fire. But lots of exciting, unfortunately it's true, lots of exciting stuff. So like, follow, share, subscribe on whatever platform you're on. We're all over the place these days.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, as soon as this show's over, it will automatically upload to Parapost.
Oh, that's true too. That's true
There
too.
you go.
There you
That's
go.
it.
There you go.
And I would also like to add, please give us a subscribe to the 1,000 subscriber mark. We've only got something like, I think, 40 subscribers or something before we're at 1,000.
Yeah,
Which
no,
is
we're close to that big 1,000 mark. And no, we don't do this because of the following, but as everybody knows, for most platforms, you get to 1,000, they give you a bit more tools to play with. So
yes,
that's all it is.
yes,
We don't do this
that's
because of, but yeah, 31 more subscribers is all we need. Try to get it before the new year. We'll see what happens.
Wow, you guys got
So,
that
guys,
many
and-
subscribers quickly, eh? Wow.
Ah.
Jesus. Me and Lex can't get that. What's going on? What's going on with these people?
Oh, secret deals.
Ah, okay.
Secret-
I got you.
Deals and his Scottish accent, apparently.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Well, seemingly the women can't stand, the Scottish accent,
They can't understand it, but they won't. They always listen, but they can't understand.
I
the
know
words name.
they can't
I'm just
understand
like,
me,
"Come
but they love my accent.
Yeah, they must
You know?
be. They must be bonkers.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, Brian. Well done.
I have to go.
That was well done, Brian. Honestly. So, guys, thank you, and Brian, I hope you have a lovely New Year. We'll talk to you after the
Thank
live, and everybody in the chat. Goodbye, and see you all in the new upload. We'll be out soon.
We'll see you soon.